Legally changing my name, that would be interesting. I actually have thought about changing my name, mainly because my how do I explain this? So I have, for those who are not in the know, I have passed my PhD Viva, so I have to do some corrections now. Technically, I could use a title doctor, but I also have to do corrections. I have to submit them, and then I have to wait for my graduation. One of my corrections, which is actually not stipulated by the examiners, but rather by the university itself, is that the name on the cover of my thesis has to match my legal name, or as Americans say, government name. So because right now I put like I put Mu Young bracket Israel Lai. I don't want to not have the name Israel in there because, you know, well, it is on literally everything that I've done. It is on my PhD is in music composition, and on every single composition that I've done, the name Israel is on the cover. So I'm like, I'm gonna put that in brackets and hope they accept it, and they're like, nope, it has to match. Even though everything else I've published, even if I publish academically, I can use my preferred name, but they don't allow it in my PhD thesis. So I thought about actually legally changing my name before I submit my corrections, so that they allow me to use my name on the thesis. But that it's actually a lot of work. I've looked into how to legally change your name so many times, and it is still a big mess. It is. I basically know everything there is to know about it, including a thing called matching the name, or I think that's a term or something along those lines, because when you try to get a new passport in your new name, and you have a different nationality, so you have multiple nationalities, the Brits will be like, oh no, your name has to match your other nationality, so you got to change the other one first, with some exceptions. So if you can prove that it would be impossible or very difficult to change your name on your other passport, then they would allow you to do it and then add an observation in your passport, which I don't know. I could in theory do, because like if I were to change my name on my Hong Kong passport, I have to go to Hong Kong / I have to go to the Chinese embassy in Manchester, which has famously dragged Hong Kong people inside and beaten them up. So beaten them up, not up. What is up? So I could say that, but so I think I could do it, but it's just a lot of work, and then you get the observation thing, whatever that means. So in case anyone's curious, that's how trans people can change their name when they cannot when they come from countries that don't allow it. But the conclusion is probably I'm not gonna do it. I have like 2 months until I submit my corrections, maybe, and I feel like I can't. So much work. I don't know. Should I do it? I kind of want to make Israel my official name. I also thought about making a video titled "I officially changed my name," because I've received so many comments saying you have to change your name. And then I thought that would be really great clickbait. And then the reveal is I'm changing my official name to Israel, not from. That would be hilarious. Do you agree? I think that is amazing. I want to do it, but it's, again, bureaucracy. Speaking of which, I saw a comment, I think this morning or yesterday, saying, so quoting what I said in the video that I made for New Year's Day, and what I said was basically something along the lines of, well, they wanted 12 weeks to prepare the citizenship test for me, which is fair. They're probably going to wait 11 weeks and then put the whole thing in Google Translate or something. And then that comment said that is the realest description of bureaucracy I've ever seen. I suppose, yeah, I just accidentally blurted that out. Let's see. So no one else has made the guess. No idea about the same thing. Something related to Welsh. I mean, kind of. You should know and have just forgotten. I don't think I've mentioned it. At least you wouldn't know the exact date. Doesn't the UK not have legal names? Very good question, Walking Sophie. So the UK does not have a unified. Welcome, Jared. The UK does not have a unified legal name for every person, or unless we finally get like an ID card or something. if Keir Starmer gets his way. But the thing is, you just have different. You can have different names, or not different names. But you have separate entries for your name for different purposes. And in theory, you try your best to make them match, but you don't really have to do it until someone asks you, like if you apply for a passport, they want proof that you're using this name. So you give them your driver's license, or you give them your bank statement. So it's just extremely decentralized, but at the same time, they kind of want to make everything match. So I don't know what, so that makes it in theory easy to change your name legally, because all you have to say is tell people officially that this is my name now. In theory, but then do people accept it? Like, do banks accept it? Does a passport office accept it? That's a different question. So in my case, because I want to say I will have dual citizenship, but I do have dual nationality as we speak, because Hong Kong people of a certain age basically all have dual nationality. So in my case, I have dual nationality, and that's where the problem lies. Like, they can change it for you pretty easily if I were just British, but because I'm not just British, they have to make the name on the passport match other names on other passports, which is where the pain comes from. That's why I'm struggling. If I had naturalized already, then that would have been... No, actually, no. If I had naturalized and renounced my Chinese nationality, then that would have been easier. But as I said, I want to change my name because of my PhD thesis, and I have to do it pretty much within the next 2 months. So that's not happening. Even if I wanted it to actually do it, renounce my Chinese nationality. I know people have done that, by the way. I've got a friend who has renounced their Chinese nationality because they naturalized as a German citizen, and I think they did it pretty shortly before Germany started allowing dual citizenship. So they were forced to renounce the Chinese nationality, and then I think quite recently they lost their permanent residency in Hong Kong. It's a complex thing. I don't even understand it properly yet. I've changed my name with the change of name deed. Deed poll. Yes, I actually have done it already. So I've done that one time. What I did was add a hyphen in my name because that's the thing. In terms of like whether they allow you to change your name, for example, on your passport or not, also partly depends on how big the change is. So, for example, I have, well, we'll start with it. In Hong Kong, generally how we transliterate our names in the Roman alphabet is one word per syllable, and there's a space in between. Unlike in China, in Chinese people, how they do it is they squish it into one word, which is actually, it works out great for them. But in Hong Kong, we have like one word per syllable with spaces. And the problem with that is when we come to the UK, they think half of our name is a middle name. So they force me to use the first half of my name as my first name. I have argued about that before. I remember going to the bank for the first time in the UK, and I was like, no, the two words are my name. They said, well, no, you have the first name and a middle name. And I was like, no, that's my first name. And they said the system won't accept it. They won't accept a space within the first name. And I was like, can I add a hyphen? They said, do you have a hyphen on your identity? I'm like, no. So they forced a middle name on me. And then afterwards, 2 years later, I used a deed poll to add a hyphen to my name so that now my first name does not have a space in it. But that was the easy part because it's a minor change. So, for example, when I get my next passport, my British passport, but when I change my British national overseas passport to a British citizen passport, I plan to make them add the hyphen in. And I looked at the guidelines, it's fine. They said it's a minor change, it's just spelling or a dot, or not dot, but like a hyphen. They literally said it's fine, no biggie, they can do it. But if I were to add the word Israel to that, then that's a big deal. So my plan was to add the hyphen when I get my citizenship. But because of that PhD situation, I'm very tempted to actually make Israel my official legal name, my passport name. You're a doctor of music. I guess you're doing Welsh language music video in 6 hours. That would be weird. I don't know anything about Welsh language music. You can use your preferred name as long as you register both your legal name and then add your preferred name, I think, at uni or at work. That's one thing I tell people. It's one of the great things about the UK. Well, I don't know much about other countries, but in the UK, we have this thing called preferred name, and I can just put Israel in forms. In fact, I just started an application that also answers what Stephen Williamson was saying. I just started an application for a teaching job in Belfast. It's extremely unlikely that I will get it, but like I was like, might as well apply for it. And initially, when they asked for my name, I just instinctively put Israel on it, and then afterwards they gave me a page where they allowed me to put my preferred name. So I changed my name to my passport name, and then I added Israel as my preferred name. That's how I usually do it, which is great because I mean, normally preferred name is used for things like William shortening to Bill or something. But in the case of Hong Kongers, that works out amazingly, which you can hear more about in my video about Hong Kong names from like a year and a half ago-ish. That thing like gets a bunch of views once in a while, because that's a video where I explain common misconceptions and assumptions about names in Hong Kong. And then once in a while, a Hong Konger living in a different country brings up this issue on social media, and then someone will just link to my video right away. I'm like, I'm about to post a link to my video and plug it in this viral post, and then it turns out someone has already done it, and then I get like a few hundred views out of that. It's an evergreen video. It's one of those. It's amazing.